And then they've got them in packs too, just like the other section. Golden nylon. Some people like those. Some people like the camel hair. I don't. I like Sable myself. And some like some of the synthetic brands. But $8.99. Now, of course, these are bigger than what we're going to need. And you wouldn't buy these expensive brushes for doing terrain work. But for doing detail work, like here you go. I've used these before. It's a white nylon. They've got it on clearance for $4.79. They've got 50% off right now on all their brushes. So, you know, that's $2-3. Now, it doesn't have the smallest of points. And I'm trying to remember how the scale goes. I know it goes like down to a 0, and then they have like a division, you know, like it'll say a 5-0 or something like that. Let me see if I can find one real quick. Well, that's a 2. This one should have. This is a 10-0. And then there's an 18-0. And then it goes, you know, to 4, 6, 8, and goes up. I like a 5-0 and a 10-0, and then like a 1 and a 2. Or I think it's 2 and a 3. Now I'm not seeing. I was going to try to show Lexicon. I bought that one brush cleaner that I've got at the shop here. Palettes. Now, I've seen people use stuff like this, and I've also seen them use ceramic tile. I don't think either is bad. I was trying to see if they had a wet palette here, and I'm not seeing it. But I am seeing paper for your palettes. Refill pack, $9.99. That's for the big ones. For the small ones, $8.99, 30 sheets. They even have ones that are like a sponge. I've never used them. Let's see, keeps acrylic and other water-soluble paints moist for hours when used with the Stay Wet Painter's Pal, which this is a sealable one. But I don't think that's really what we're looking for. Here you go. Now this is a lot bigger than what we would need, but it's a wet palette. This one's $25. Now I showed you how to make one for about $5. Actually, $2 or $3 for the canister, $2 or $3 for the sponge, and then however much you're going to pay for your paint. Here's some palette paper, $4.99. This has got 40 sheets. So, I mean, if you just look, you know, you can find it. Sealable paint palette. Here's one for $15. Got an area for your wet palette, and then an area for your paints. So you could splotch some paint in there, and then as you need it, throw it over here. I'm not seeing any more, but you guys get the idea. Here is what I had, the ones that I used. That's $3.99. Here's another one, $9.99. Basically the same thing as mine, just a different, a little bit fancier. Brush water. I wonder if it has separate containers with a palette tray. $6.99. Yeah, if Yeah, it's got separate compartments. I can see a little line there in the middle. That's for the lazy person that doesn't want to have to change their water very often. You know, they've got them at all different prices. Or you can just use a cup. Depends on how fancy you guys want to get. Alright? Alright guys, I'm in the kids section. The Crayola and all that stuff. But I love to get these. For terrain work, they're just junk brushes. But you get, let's see, 144 brushes for $4. I mean, for doing terrain work, perfect. You know, where you need a little bit of control. You don't need a huge brush. Spreading glue, stuff like that. These are great. You know, you can, 144 of them, you can use it in glue, throw it away, and not think twice about it because you didn't kill yourself. You know, sometimes toothpicks are good for spreading glue. Other times, right here. There you go. Alright, a lot of you guys know about Woodland Scenics. They make a lot of stuff for our terrain. People have asked me about the molds that I do all my cliff facings with. Here you go. It's Woodland Scenics. They have various kinds. This store doesn't have a bunch of them, of the different types, but they've got a few. They're a rubber mold. But they still work kind of like the Hearst Arts molds, except you've got to find something to prop them up and keep them level. Paint bottles. I've used all kinds of stuff. Scraps from your foam. They do have trees. You can get them in the kits that you've got to make yourself, or you can buy them pre-made, like down here. Of course, pre-made is going to cost you a lot more. Then you have all of the material to make bushes, vines work, lichen. Then you've got all your turfs. You know, they make even a dirt color, and I do use the dirt color because it looks great. Rocks of various sizes, types. Some, I usually get the white ones, and then I stain them up myself to match whatever rocks that I made. Now, if you're only going to be doing like basing your figs or something like that, yes, these little packs will probably do you good. If you're looking for something bigger, they do make them in a bigger thing. Now, a lot of people will put this stuff, the turf and stuff, down with white glue and then just sprinkle this stuff on top. They make a scenic cement. It's really just PVA watered down. Now what I'll do is I'll put it on with my PVA glue, then I'll go back with one of these and get a sprayer. I'll put my white glue down, I'll sprinkle my flock down, shake it off, then mist it with this stuff to kind of set it, and then just do a fine little mist of the flock going over top. So what that does is it seals the stuff on the bottom and then leaves this on top to look good. If this wears off, you still have the stuff that you sealed on underneath. Now there's lots of different things that you can get, retaining walls, and all this stuff is molds, and it's made out of like hydrocal or something like that. I just got stopped by the store. I wanted to know what I was doing, but they didn't seem to have a problem. So, all right. Hydrocal. This is like plaster. It's a little more expensive, but it is a little stronger than your regular plaster. I mean, they've got a lot. Woodland Scenics makes all kinds of stuff. This is tack glue for when you're gluing your foam together. You can use the stuff that we've got. You don't need to go out and spend money. But if you've got more money than you've got sense, you can. The latex rubber for making your own molds. You know, I've used this stuff. It's not bad. It kind of makes something similar to this, you know, where you're going to have to put a mother mold, something to hold it, but it does work. Now for